Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Hex. I'm your guy Kinetics. Just want to give a giant shout out today to the brave men and women who have served and sacrificed in the United States military to give us the freedoms that we now are able to experience today. And just want to give eternal gratitude. I come from a military family. Even my mother was a WAC. So she was part of the Women's Army Corps back in the 70s. So my mom is WAC. Yeah, go ahead. Start with the jokes. That's fine. Go ahead. Um, I do not want any stolen valor, so I want to make this clear. Some people thought I was military. I went to MEPS. I signed up. I was going into the National Guard, and I swore an oath to the governor of Colorado, and then I got kicked out for partying before I even went to boot camp. So no, I am not. I am not ex-military, though I do have deep found respect and gratitude for those who are in the military. So just wanted to start today's episode off today like captain and hexologist himself. I want to thank you guys for your time, for your service. It means a lot to those of us who understand that that freedom isn't free, and we're extremely grateful. Another gentleman that's on stream with me right now is Mr. Wales Only. He got his um, uh, what would you say, the degree of hard knocks from the military, and he learned how the world really works being in the military. So I'm grateful for his experience and for his serving us. So we all know that he's a good man and that he serves everyone's best interest here within this community. So without further ado, let me bring him up alone. Wales, how you doing, sir? Maybe no, he's too busy. Telemundo on. Is that what's going on? He's got the
I don't think you guys can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine now, sir. But you were muted before.
Let me get something else so I can listen in because I can't reply if I can't hear you. So just give me a second, bro.
Okay, yeah, well that makes sense. That makes sense. That's all right. I'm gonna bring everyone else up here.
What's different than any other
No.
show with Wales being able to reply but not hearing us?
Well, I can't even see if he's got headphones in or not. So I just figured maybe his favorite story on Telemundo was on. So it's his stories,
Exactly.
his stories.
I like the one with the guy that dresses up like a bee. It's the best.
I love it. Mel, Tony, thank you so much for the price. I believe you got that from Coin Paprika. It sounds good to me. That is where I will be going now from now on to look at the price. Actually, be quite honest with you guys. The best place for me and always has been, and I reached out to Steph and Firebun is Staker App. It's the best place to look at it. We know that there's going to be support within the community for it. We know that the guys aren't going to pull any shenanigans. We know that they're big Hex supporters, big Hexakins. So I actually reached out to Steph and asked, and we'll see what becomes of it. But I asked if on that front page, that main page, if they could just take the allocated supply off of Etherscan and multiply it by the current price from Uniswap.vision and just give us that price on the front and that be our market cap. And we don't need to go to any of these market cap aggregators. We'll just have it right there on the Staker app. So I reached out to him when all this went down on Tuesday after our show. Too bad the drama didn't happen before our show, man. We would have had some
during.
Yes, that would have been interesting. But I'm really excited to see that Grant from the Highest of Stakes documentary is going to sit down with Clay on Friday, tomorrow, and they're going to have a discussion. We have someone in the background picking apart anything Clay's ever said to the Hexicans that we have still digital record of, including the interview with Captain, as that article.
Is it hexologist making screenshots then?
No, we're going to use some of that information though. But
Okay.
It's funny when a guy claims to have, operate above board with absolute integrity, and then doesn't hold the same standard to everyone else. So I think it's if we're not given the time to really talk with him, I think we'll hold his feet to the fire for a minute just to call him out, and then off we go to ghosting again, because I think ghosting is the best way to go. They are irrelevant because without Hexicans, and they said that we're only 5% of the user base. I don't believe that.
Can I play the devil's advocate on 2 points?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, this didn't. Although I know at least one Hexican had an appointment to make our final case with Clay, and Clay accepted and said he wouldn't do anything until they sat down and discussed. Clay did not keep that word. But other than that, don't you think that, the meeting with Dev Kyle back 3 months ago, when we kind of got some kind of jitters about this, Clay talked to him and Dev Kyle reported back over Twitter. He says there will be an adjustment and it will be down. Don't you remember that?
I do. But here's the thing. First off, the OA's coins are not verified that they're owned by the OA. Good luck proving that those are not some random user or one of the devs that got a payout after the AA was completed.
It's an African priest. We know that.
It's an African priest. So how do you know it's the OAs? How do you know you can't differentiate those from the African priests, right? So how come you take those out of circulation? But we know for a fact Satoshi's coins, once they were mined, that 1 million coins, those 1,000 wallets with 100 coins in them, have never moved since the moment they were mined. How is that still considered circulating supply? That's the double standard that upsets me.
So the double standard is the crux of the situation.
Yes.
You just want to make sure if Clay's going to come out and he's going to report in writing exactly what his thought process was, as long as he doesn't hold the other tokens, the other projects to the same standards, using the same mechanics.
Yes.
Then it's stupid, right? Because
yes,
why is he calling us out ourselves? But I'll ask you this: do you think that this is in response, and this is the way I was thinking the other day, perhaps this is response to the court case against a CoinMarketCap? Maybe we've done this to ourselves in that Clay runs a business absolutely much smaller than CoinMarketCap, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot smaller of a war chest than Binance has. And if there's precedent set in this court case, be it through a settlement or otherwise in an actual court of law, then Binance, these assholes that they are, could easily plant somebody to sue Clay as a hexagon and take his entire business from him. Just absolutely bankrupt him through the entire court case situation. What do you think?
I don't know. That's a pretty weak legal argument. I'm not saying it couldn't be made.
I tried.
I'm not saying it couldn't be made, and that couldn't be enough to scare him off. Because when the big boys pull out the big guns, that can still scare someone off. The smaller fish in the pond. But to me, well, then in my opinion, that's even more of a reason to stick to your guns. That you say rank everyone by the same metric.
Yes,
exactly like Cabana said. So if you're going to adjust hex by a certain metric, then adjust everyone else. That's it.
Yes,
that's the point.
yes.
I agree.
Everybody.
I agree.
Because then now you've got the bulletproof. Well, you can sue me all you want, but I'm going literally off of the same metrics that I rank everybody, and I'm not gatekeeping them on page 3 at 201. I'm letting them fall where the chips actually exist based upon the same metrics that are across the board for everybody.
Then you have to publish the metrics. You have to hover over with a question mark over each one of the tabs and then publish exactly the way that this was arrived.
I think it's a great idea. That would be super easy if you just said, we took the allocated supply off of the blockchain, multiplied it by the price. That should be the end of discussion. That literally should be the end of discussion.
Yep.
I could accept if Clay just told us what is going on in the background. Like, guys, this is going on. I'm getting, I don't know, backlash from these guys, or
that's the thing.
Who.
And I'm not going to speculate because I don't know any of that. I don't know any of that. But I wouldn't be surprised to hear that there's some pressure from the side that we don't get to see. I bet there's pressure within the space.
Or he can just talk to us. He should be.
Well, he's always had a friendly place here on Discourse Syndicate. He came on, talked with the captain. He's talked with Dev Kyle. He's talked with Richard in the chats. There's no reason, and I agree with RG3. It doesn't. So RG and I talked about this yesterday. I didn't get to see his video last night. It was too late for me. I'm an old guy. I go to bed early. I'm an early to bed, early to rise kind of guy. But I didn't get to hear what Captain said. But he and I talked pretty in depth twice, maybe 3 times yesterday. And that's why I reached out to Steph to have them multiply the allocated supply from the contract on Etherscan, the contract tab, multiply that by the actual price of hex trading on Uniswap.vision at that time. And we'll just call that ours and just have it on the front page of Staker app. And then we don't even need this coin ranking site. Just have everyone download Staker and say, there's your coin, there's your market cap. whatever
I'm
that
con-
is.
I'm confused. Wait, Captain said fucking ranking sites. Does that mean Pornhub and other aggregators
my
of good
God.
filth?
Oh my God. So anyway, as we move on to more serious conversation here, we all know that market cap's a vanity metric. It really doesn't even matter anyway. So part of the conversation that RG and I had yesterday was, I think this, and I don't want to put words in anyone else's mouth, but I think this is a good thing for us, because every time we sent someone to any of these coin market cap aggregators, all we did is subject new users to whatever scammy bullshit was being advertised on the first page anyway. So this is a good thing for us. They don't have to look at all the other stuff on in the top 10 and say, oh, maybe I should diversify into this too. No. This is a good thing, guys. We never send anyone to a coin market cap aggregator ever again. Just have them download the Staker app, have them look at the charts for the price and the market cap on the front if they ever add that to that main menu there. And then we don't ever have to subject new hexagons to any of the scammy crap.
You don't think margin to go now is working toward us as a silver lining, that people say, oh, I can get it on Hex because it's number 22 or 16 or whatever it is. It's not, jockeying for number 2 anymore. It's not done. Yeah. I'm not late for it. Now I'm early again. I mean, that
was my first initial response is, hey, it's going to be so much fun to watch us climb right back up the charts again. Because when we get to $1 hex, we're back at number 3 again anyway. So we're back at number 3 again anyway.
Probably.
So it's not a big deal. It's kind of, for those who continue to use a coin ranking site, it's kind of cool because now we get to, the new entrance into the, go ahead and bring it back up. The new entrant into the system gets to watch and say, hey, look at where I'm going. Look, I bought at 18, now we're at 17, and then the next day we're at 16. This has been awesome. So this could play in our favor, guys. I look at it. The best video yesterday was the hexologist being tied up with the paper in his hand and the fake black eye. He's like, I support that. You want me to read? I support Nomic's decision, like he was held captive. That was awesome. I love it. Also good that the market cap is artificially lower as the ceiling is now higher. I like that.
And Kinetics, you thought that maybe people would start to think about that diversification, and I think that the best way to diversify is to stake for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years, for 4 years.
That's how I'm doing it.
That's all you need to know about diversification.
Yep. I'm in very few things other than Hex. Let me just put it that way, and Pulse, because I don't have any. I know supposedly I have points for Pulse. I just don't have any actual Pulse yet. But I'm in very, very few things outside of Hex and Pulse. Very, very few things, and it's more of a political statement for me on the things that I am in. But I don't talk about those things because I agree. I think the most diversified, until you've made the kind of gains that the OG hexagons have made, you shouldn't even be looking at anything else, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give sanctioned advice to people for their finances. But in my opinion, if I hadn't seen the 1000x plus with my gains in Hex, why would you even look anywhere else? And the diversification you need is I need a 1 year, I need a 2 year, I need a 3 year, I need a 4 year, and I need a 5 year stake. And you know what? I better throw a Cuatro Cinco out there just as a Hail Mary, right? Davis, thank you for the $20. Wales, your doubles is 2 days late. You said it's simple math and code. My question is, why haven't you owned up like a man and admit you were wrong? Also, apologize to your community for calling.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, dude. This is your question. Right. This is perfect.
Let me address this dumbass question since you didn't hear me, because I've explained this numerous times.
I know. I figured
if you don't understand how models work, hold on, it's not a joke to me because I take my work seriously. So while some people take shit as a joke, right? This is exactly why, and I'm not trying to sound like anything, but you guys got to understand. everything that you think you know is wrong. And if this nomic situation I haven't taught you that yet, well, you better start listening, because I've been talking about all this shit since day one. Literally, go back to my first fucking live stream. I said coin market ranking sites are pointless. Continues to be the case today. Not a surprise. Now to the model. What's gonna happen when all of a sudden we're just at $3? What is the whole point of this line of thinking? If you don't understand how models work, that's fine, but maybe you should go learn and understand that things don't happen on your time, they happen on the market's time. Right? Right? I mean, people need to understand that. The market does what it wants. The math is just there to supplement the reality. If you don't understand the math, then, you know, there's work for you to do there.
Things are the same until they're not, right? So until you can't control, all markets are is the psychology of people, and people's minds are as fickle as the wind, man. So when some guy decides to be a dumbass and dump onto the market and create fear, uncertainty, and doubt because he's trying to exit out in the stupidest way I've ever seen possible in this system, well, there's nothing you can do about that, because it did take and some people were swayed by this. Some people started panic selling after he stopped, because they thought, oh my God, it's going to nothing, because they don't understand what they actually hold.
And that's exactly the point, right?
Yep.
What's a model?
So if that one actor hadn't done what he had done, I'll bet you're doubling what have already happened.
Well, here's the thing. What have we seen since sack phase? Multiple iterations of the same nefarious selling type behavior. If people don't understand how markets work, there's nothing anybody on the stream can do to help them. So if you don't know how the model works, there's nothing I can do to help you. You need to go look it up if you don't understand what a model is and what a model says. I've said numerous times over and over, these are the dates that the price should hit by. If they don't, doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, that's where it's going anyway. It's just like Bitcoin. I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand.
I always pay attention to what a model does, not so much what a model says.
Well, a model does nothing. A model says everything.
Oh, she does a lot.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know about he's, but I say she does a lot.
I didn't
Papa
say
B
he.
likes the
You were
he
thinking
models.
he.
Papa B likes the he models. That's what I heard. So, Randy Hilarski, thank you, sir, for the $55.55. Yes, I started watching your interview, and then I had to go run some errands, so I didn't get to finish it. But yes, Jeff Kardakis committing support to the PulseChain, bullish, absolutely bullish. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
That was great.
Randy, let's get a meeting with this Jeff gentleman in the background, and let's see what we can do to help make him successful on Pulse, because I like his product. I like TrustSwap. I really do. And since we're not getting the support that I was hoping for from Uniswap, because you would assume that since we're going to let them bring their code over for absolutely nothing and let them run their own front end, and we got no support from them, then hey, fuck them. We got to go somewhere, right? So that'll be cool to have TrustSwap. I'm excited.
It was great. It was great interview. I just finished watching it before the stream.
Saw it, Randy. Great job. So thanks, Davis, for the $5. Appreciate that. So yeah. For all you guys, just to bring it right back up, because I think that $55.55, and the fact that it's Randy Hilarski deserves a little more attention, not just because the $55, but watch my interview of the TrustSwap founder, Jeff Kardakis, committing support to PulseChain, bullish. So that's over on Randy Hilarski's channel, gentlemen and ladies, and the one lady watching. Gentlemen and one lady. All right. So we got all of that nonsense out of the way. I'm
bottomed out.
I am so bullish. So we've got Jay from Crypto Junkies helping us work on the channel, from the marketing and facilitating all the streams and getting everything ready. So he does a lot of the management on the back end. Yes, Children of Grave on the back end. I know you're going to say something about that too, but he's pretty freaking amazing at TA himself. And we haven't seen, and Jenkins hasn't been around. So I think Jay's going to go ahead and start hopping on here, just to teach you guys some simple tools just to feel comfortable where Hex is at and to not FUD yourselves out with just some very, very simple TA tools to have confidence in what Hex is doing. He was telling me 19.8 cents is really where we needed to hit before we start to see any kind of launch pad again without any more uncertainty taking us back down. And so we're at that point. And so everything he was showing me, I am not a TA guy. I purposely have never taken the time to try to become good at that. I don't think it's my strength. So I'm more of a numbers finance kind of guy, and putting together, getting the right people together to run the systems of a business. And that's really always kind of been my strength. So I lean on guys like him to tell me this stuff. And I think he's going to get on stream at some point and just do a small TA just to show you guys, look, there's nothing to fret here, guys. This is great. This is all bullish. Shook out so many weak hands. It's a feature, not a bug. The fact that the price goes down and that volatility is what makes us wealthy, guys. So it's good. We like this. We want to keep it this way. Shakes all the weak hands out, and then we're ready for launch again. Next round of buyers comes in. Just wait, guys. There's going to be some bullish news. I guarantee. And if trust swap on Pulse with Jeff Kardakis isn't enough for you guys, don't worry. There's more coming, guys. There's more coming. So,
man. So let me help you out there with that line of talking you just had talking about bullish news. Bullish news is irrelevant. Bullish news is for promise coins. Bullish news is not for crypto. If you're here for bullish news, you're in the wrong place. Period.
Yeah, but we got a lot of guys that still are. They still have that crypto mindset.
Doesn't
and I've
matter.
noticed that. You look at the chats.
Hold on, Kinetics. That's promise coin mindset, sir. That's not crypto.
I know.
That's not crypto.
I know.
We have to set the standard.
But you see him crying in the chats.
They can cry. It's irrelevant.
All day long in the
we have to set the standard, bro. Okay. If the folks are uneducated, that is their fault. It is on us as public persona or personas to orient them in the right direction. We're here to educate. We're not here to influence. Right? So if you want bullish news, go to fucking Cardano. There you go. Buy some promise coins that are not going to get you paid. Pretty simple.
Agreed, guys. This BS could use a lot more than 3 likes. Get your thumbs up in there. Go thumbs up all the BS. Come on, guys.
Hey, Bangkok Hex, who's posting in Thai, please check out Hex Asians sometime. We'd love to have you there. And we got people that can actually read your Thai writing.
No essay. I'm not on Twitter. If I am, it's not me.
If I am, it's not me. There is a Peter I do know. Peter McPoorhex. Yeah, there's a Peter McPoorhex on Twitter, on the twatter.
I had a troll account like Peter McCormick Hex, but somebody didn't like it, probably.
Somebody didn't like it, probably. Yes, I'd like to see that too. There might be better people suited to talk with Richard, though.
That would be nice.
I'm not gonna say anything. But I'd love. Bard still has his facilities about him for Kiyosaki to say something.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yep. Peter McPormack. Jesus.
Love it.
And Twatter, yes.
Well, anything else you guys would like to discuss? I just wanted to, hey, thanks, Wales, for your service. Thank you, sir, for being willing to sacrifice for the freedoms that we enjoy. I mean, I know this world is not as black and white as we would like it. And, it's some pretty evil things run by some pretty evil dudes within the military. But for the most part, I think most of the guys that join the military, men and women, do it because they have the right intentions at heart, right?
Typically, yeah. The reality is that evil is everywhere, and people are too compliant with words, right? Not reality. People are taken to where they want to be taken because they let themselves just get dragged along by things that aren't real. And that's pretty much the majority of what we see. Anytime, just think of the word authority. The word authority is just a fucking word, but people buckle at that shit. Why? Because they're brainwashed subconsciously and they don't even realize it. Instead of standing up and spend. This is why I'm no longer in the military, because I am not a person that's just going to be told what to do, and I'm never going to follow unlawful orders. Period. End of discussion. This is why I'm no longer in the military. So for those of you that think you know what's going on and follow just stupid instruction and direction from those bad actors, which are the people running the show, FYI, it's your own fault. Now,
oh, and then he muted himself.
And that is all.
It was interesting.
They got him.
They got him. Dang it.
He's on a Caribbean island now, and he sounds better than ever before. I don't understand how this is possible.
That's actually true.
Like, you have to look at what's happening. You can't just let the wind drag you. And this is what everybody does. And this is why I'm not like everybody else. This is why I don't care about serving and all that. That shit is all irrelevant. Because at the end of the day, serving never stops. We're always to be vigilant. We're always to be aware of what anybody that thinks they have control over you is doing. So I honestly don't think or don't understand why people think it matters whether you were in the military or not. Doesn't matter. We all have a service to each other as persons that live on this planet. We don't get to pick and choose when it's the right time to fight and when it's not. This is exactly why the world is where it is today. People think that they can just leave their responsibilities to others, and that's why you fail over and over and over. Fact of life.
I do. I fail over and over and over. It's true.
But that's the only way, right? The only way you progress
it's true.
is by understanding that shit is fucked up and you got to do better. I mean, look at where we're at because nobody's cared in the past 50, 60, 100 years. I mean, you can't honestly think anything that's happened in the past 2 years is because this is what we wanted 50 years ago. That's just asinine, right? So this is all to say, be responsible for your own actions, be responsible for your own family members, and don't think somebody has to come and save you because nobody's here to save your ass. You got to save yourself, and that's it. And this is coming from a fucking combat veteran. I've been to war more times than you've been asleep. I was born in it, grew up in it as an adult, and I'm still fighting it today. None of you understand that because you've lived a normal life. You think shit is normal. It's not. Look at what we're living through today. If you think being literally obligated to do things you don't need to do makes sense, then you are part of the problem. End of rant.
Happy Veterans Day.
It's the perfect day to rant, right? It's my day, so to speak.
Well, let the veterans speak. I got kicked out of the military before I went to boot camp. So
best thing that ever happened to
you. Well, you know what? Then I went on and created a multi-million-dollar business. So it was I could have either become a helicopter pilot making $70,000 a year, or I could have a multi-million-dollar business and I would have never would have met my wife. I wouldn't have had 3 of my 4 beautiful children. So I was
supposed to, baby.
Yep, I agree with that 100%.
Kinetics, how did they kick you off? Like you were in the boot camp, went partying and returned, or what the hell happened? No,
I went to MEPS, which is where you go to do your ASVAB. Scored a 92 out of 100, so I could pretty much have any job that I wanted. Aced the physical, no problem. They don't have a very high standard for that physical. Went through, did all my paperwork, swore my oath to the governor because I was going National Guard, not Army. So I wasn't to the president; it was to the governor of our state. Then got my test results back for my drug tests, and I had gone partying too recently, and so they kicked me out before I even left for boot camp.
Okay,
you got a dishonorable discharge before you even got indoctrinated.
So it's funny because they send you a letter saying dishonorable discharge, but since I never went to boot camp, it's technically not a dishonorable discharge. So when you have to answer,
it says that on paper,
it doesn't matter legally.
No, there's no paperwork.
You go talk to the JAG. It is not. So
it doesn't matter. It's just a piece of paper. It means nothing. Come on.
There's the way it's filed is not as a dishonorable discharge. No, but the letter that they sent me did say you have been dishonorably discharged. but it's not actually filed that way.
Until you're actually at boot camp and processed in boot camp, you're not a part of the military. So it doesn't actually matter if you even would have went all the way to your first basic training spot. Like they would have just sent you back, and you would have never actually been in the system. Nobody's
dishonorably pre-discharged.
There you go. That's fine with me. But the difference is because like I have my insurance licenses. I have to put it. Have you ever been dishonorably discharged from the military? Well, I can honestly say no because it's not filed that way with the JAG. So
it would be on a DD-214. It would be on a document literally stating your ass has been dishonorably discharged.
Can you answer like nah and like so that you don't perjure yourself? You say nah. Were you ever dishonorably discharged?
No, it's very simple. It's yes or no. It's a radio button that you click on there when you're filing for your license. So
kind of not.
Thanks, Joshua Fleming, for the $5. Yeah, appreciate that, guys. So that's what I was going to fly was Blackhawks. So that is literally what I was. I was crew chief on Chinooks. And I was gonna network in. So I had my sister's best friend. Or my sister's husband's best friend was a level 2 warrant officer flying Black Hawk. Actually, he had moved on to one of the few fixed wings in the Army. That's a big honor in the Army to fly a fixed wing, and he loved flying Black Hawks. And Blake from MCA Mountain Crypto Advisors is a Black Hawk helicopter pilot.
You love the Black Hawk.
No, Papa B. No, stop it. No.
I knew he was going to say it. We just got to take him off screen. So yeah, I was going to go talk with him, and he was going to write me a recommendation letter from the warrant officers. You can skip all your commanders and go straight to the warrant officers and have them write you a letter of recommendation, and you can get into flight school pretty quick. So that's what I was going to do. I was going to bypass my chain of command, but I never got to go. So I never had the opportunity to crash a Black Hawk helicopter.
How big was it?
And he's gone. So thank you all. I appreciate you guys all. I still want to give a shout out to the veterans like Wales Only. I still appreciate your sacrifice, man. I appreciate you guys, your service. He is correct. We as citizenry should be hyper vigilant of the tyrannical and evil powers around us, and we all need to be vigilant to those things, and we need to stand up for mankind and freedoms as a whole. But there's a certain number of people out there that were willing to put their name on a dotted line and say, yep, I'm willing to pick up arms to protect those freedoms. And even though they might have had evil people at the helm guiding their orders, at least they had good intentions in place. And so I appreciate you guys. With that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take off, but I appreciate all you guys, and dude, stake and chill, guys. We're here for the long term. Pulse is coming. There's no reason to walk away at this point in time. There's no reason to dump your bags unless you just want to make the rest of us wealthy, and I'm okay with that too. See you guys soon.